Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing our exploration of Joy Division's Unknown Pleasures album. Thank you very much for joining me. I don't even really want to talk. Let's just get right into it. This song is called Day of the Lords. It's track 2. 3, 2, 1. Ugh, the bass is so good, damn. This one's so far been heavy, way heavier than the first one, and like driving, very powerful. Let's keep going.
Where will it end?
Love his voice too.
Where will it end? Where will it end? Where will it end?
Reminds me a little bit of the Doors vocally. Will it end?
Where will it end? Where will it end? This is the room, the start of it all. From childhood through you,
Fun. All right. Pause it before it goes into the next track. All right. Next song is going to be Candidate. Okay, that was Joy Division, Day of the Lords. Unknown Pleasure's raw power is still gripping, most notably on the haunting song Day of the Lords, which appears to detail the horrors of war. All right. Interesting. Yeah. I feel like I've been putting off Joy Division for too long. I really like bands that have a few different things for them. You know, when their story is captivating, I like that. You know, and this Joy Division and their lead singer, you know, very captivating story there. It's a very tragic story too, but it's when I feel like I can connect to the artist on like a more emotional and personal level, it adds to my enjoyment of their music, I think. And then when their music feels different or like yeah, I don't know. This sound is really cool, and I like them a lot. All right, let's continue. This is the room, the start of it all. No portrait so fine, only sheets on the wall. I've seen the nights filled with blood sport and pain, and the bodies obtained. The bodies obtained. Where will it end? When will the limit of inhumanity and atrocity be found? When will the war cease? When will death come for the protagonist, or for their compatriots, or for their foes? Rather, can it be read even more subtly and obscure by rhetorically asking where will be the place in which the suffering will end? Ian gives the situation more of a grounded sense of tangibility and nearness to his own tragedy, accepting the fact that horror will not know defeat and the pain won't stop, and he is now just wondering the location where it will end. If he had employed the adverb when instead, it would have felt as a complaint or some sort of cry for help. But the use of where ultimately establishes a surrender state of mind, which is, of course, more devastating. These are your friends from your childhood through youth who goaded you on, demanded more proof. Withdrawal pain is hard. It can do you right in, so distorted and thin. The emotional, mental, and physical pain that war-scarred soldiers in the war is commonly known as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Ian Curtis draws the terror laid on a soldier to something that he himself has experienced, the withdrawal pain of a drug, displaying his indirect connection to the issues that soldiers faced. If it could be in reference to German soldiers being given amphetamines, which Hitler used daily between 42 and 45, for its performance-enhancing stimulant effects and to induce extended wakefulness. However, very early in the war, they found out that the hangover the day after the intake was so severe that the affected personnel could not function properly, so they started to restrict its mass use and production. That's insane that they were using that. I guess it makes sense, but it really doesn't make sense. Where will it end? This is the car at the edge of the road. There's nothing disturbed. All the windows are closed. I guess you were right when we talked in the heat. There's no room for the weak. No room for the weak. Likely not the car in the sense of an automobile, but a railway car, as in one of those used by the Germans to transport people to extermination camps during the Holocaust. Alternatively, it might refer to a suicide scene. The car is undisturbed. No one has tried to break in. It's an unremarkable sight. There's no room for the weak. This person didn't have the strength to survive. Before gas chambers were invented, Germans started to gas prisoners in trucks until they came up with a more efficient way to exterminate victims. So the car might be a reference to this, and this could also mean a car parked at night with lovers inside. There's a sex and death juxtaposition here, potentially, or it could only refer to this. It could also be more platonic, two friends or acquaintances who talk about past wars. The victims taken to the Holocaust or concentration camps mostly traveled in railway cars, either with their windows sealed or with no windows at all. The fully enclosed nature of the locked and windowless wagons greatly reduced the number and skill of troops required for transport. Holocaust victims were taken to camps, and they were not told that they were going to be killed. They attempted to disguise their intentions. Yeah. The victims were told they were to be taken to labor camps, but in reality, deportation meant transit to killing centers. Additionally, those transported suffered freezing temperatures in winter and intense heat in summer. According to one survivor, because of the summer heat and lack of air, people would first go mad and then perish. So these lines might refer to a conversation between fellow prisoners, one of whom was sure that they were being taken to their deaths, and another who refused to give credit to that, and instead still believed the resettlement or evacuation story. But after all, he would find out that there was indeed no room for the weak. Powerful statement, carries a harrowing truth, although quite an ironic one considering the men involved in the war were all naive to what they were entering into and therefore all were rendered weak. The line may refer to Hitler's theories. I don't even want to read Hitler's theories. Yeah. Yeah. Hitler can go right to hell. All right. Repeat of the first verse, and then where will it end? Where will it end? Where will it end? Yep. Yeah. All right. Love this song. Whole album is a masterpiece. Yep. Yep. It's also about both drug addiction and mental disorders being compared to the horrors of war. This person says this can be interpreted very differently. Unless JD said something about the song I don't know about. Otherwise, you guys are insane. Someone says, war commentary isn't off the mark. Many punk bands have taken imagery from war. Joy Division in particular have known to directly reference the Holocaust, concentration camps, Nazi deserters, etc. Many of their songs reference war. Ian Curtis often read books on those topics. In fact, the name Joy Division is a reference to the 1953 book House of Dolls, where it describes the brothels inside of concentration camps. Damn. Joy Division. All right. That's Day of the Lords. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a great week. Stay tuned for more videos. See you guys soon. Deathstroke 9.